Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
Hey, what's going on, travelers? It is Ricky Ventures and Marlon Madden. We're back again with you for another week of the Success Journey Show. What is going on, travelers? What's going on, world? Marlon, what's good, bro? How you doing today?
Yeah. As everybody see, they could probably see the hue. You know, we're at the beach and stuff, so you know.
Oh yeah.
I put on a little tan or whatever happens to my skin when I go in the sun. Crazy.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah. By the time you guys hear this, man, we had this has been the second year now. We just gone down to the beach and just take the families out there for over Labor Day weekend and just chill out, man. Just relax and just get our minds geared up. Man, his kids already started school, and my kids get ready to start school this week. So, yeah. You hear my voice. My voice is tired. Been running around all weekend. So, but it's been good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Excited to bring this show to you guys, and man, we have an amazing guest for you today. So, for Marlon, man, let's catch him up. What's been going on in your world, man?
Well, in my world, you know, I've been everybody hear this. I've been doing this special thing I've been doing. I'm gonna let it come to fruition first before I even talk about it. So I did an interview for a certain position. So once it comes to fruition, I'm definitely gonna let them know about it. So that I was doing a lot of studying and reading for that. You know, when you hear this, the hurricane would have happened already. Ida flood out my basement twice in the same week, you know, but it was no sweat off my back. I just let the process that was there to take care of that just go through. So my basement is totally has to get redone. All the carpets, everything was taken out, changed the sub pump, everything like that. So that's what's been going on in my world. And of course, you know, our project that we showed you in episode 1 in our welcome back episode is still going, and it's happening. So we're looking to complete that one, and probably in the middle of this one, just jump on project 2 when it comes to that. We have a set number that we're trying to do for the year, and we'll probably share that with them and see if we hit our goal, and then we'll let you guys know if we hit our goal, fall short, or even went over. So definitely.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. No, good stuff, man. You've been working out, man. I know listeners gonna want to know if you staying in shape, man.
Yeah, been working out. Just got to get the abs right, man. Woo! So that's the hardest portion.
and to that spectator that's out there, man. I don't know if they still listen to our show, but the comment about the shirts.
Yeah. I spoke to him about that.
Statement. Yeah, it's a fashion statement. You know that we didn't want to reveal too much at the beach. It's a family beach, you know, so we didn't want to put too much out there to the world, make people uncomfortable, you know, on the beach. So yeah, we doing our thing under our shirts.
Oh my goodness, yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, try to stay in shape and everything like that, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing ball still. You know, I'm still hitting the court, playing ball and everything. So, but we'll see. We'll know.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, travelers, man, we would love to hear how you guys are doing. Shoot us a message, shoot us an email, write a review on our podcast platform. Just let us know what's going on in your world. Comment to our Instagram post of this episode, and let us know what's happening on your end of town, and how you're getting ready for the last few days or weeks, I should say, of this year. You know, we're winding down. Yeah. 2021 is almost done, dude. That's not even. It's crazy.
Almost done.
It's almost crazy. Done. So we'll get into it, you know, a little later in this season. Just, you know, setting up people looking at the end of the year. What, you going to say something? Go ahead, man.
You know, what's funny is that most of my real estate have been done down south, where even where it's winter, they can still work. I know they worked up here while you were building your house in the wintertime, but I want to see how that's going to affect our different projects. I never really thought about it because all my projects been lower than the Mason-Dixie line. And, not in it's cold, but it's not snow. So, once they finish outside, they get inside, they turn on the heat, which is probably the same thing here. They turn on the heat and they're just working on the inside. But the thing about when they're working on the outside, how that affects them. Wow, I just thought about that.
No, they'd be good. They figure it out. They don't stop. They just charge more.
Stop. Yeah.
But listen, man, we're gonna get it to our guests today. But before we do that, I'll let Marlon introduce our guest. Before we do that, I just want to remind you to go to our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com. Check out all of our past podcasts. Read up on the individuals. Follow their videos, follow their stories, go to their social media pages, like, comment, and just encourage them on their journeys. Also, you can go to our shops page where you can get our lovely shirts. We also got, we got the women's shirts, men's shirts. My son actually said, man, I want a shirt to wear for school for the first day. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe there's a size for you. But that's another thing right there, man, getting the youth going. So the books, all that kind of stuff that are on there, give us shout out to us, support us so that we can continue to expand this platform and offer more to the people out there. But without further ado, like I said, go to our social media, podcast platforms, wherever the Success Journey Show, you will find us there. And this is almost 3 years in the running, and we're just providing content over content, people over people, and we want to bring stories that are interesting to you, right? So hit us up, and without further ado, man, we'll go to the introduction of our guest. All right, everyone.
Hey, travelers, we come to the best portion of our show is when we get to sit down with our guests and talk about that journey that they had. This show is going to be real special, like we always say, but this show to me is going to be special. I'm going to plug Renee Montgomery. We interviewed her second season, and I saw that she had something that was going on. She was bubbling with something, and I said, man, and I saw that she was part of a team, and I was like, whoa, that's a movement, right? And I was like, everybody was like, oh, this thing is going to be the best thing ever. And I started to do some investigation. And then I said, oh, I could be part owner of this thing. So I got my little coins together and I invested in a team called from the FCF, FCF, Fan Control Football. And today we get to sit down and talk with none other than Ray Austin. He is a part owner of this thing. So, hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well.
I love how you start this whole conversation off with ownership. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That is what it's all about.
That is. I like where we're going already. I like
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself so the fans can, or we call them travelers, because everybody's going on a journey. So our travelers can know a little bit about you.
Oh man, that's great. I love that. I just a real quick background in football first. A University of Tennessee grad. Played back in the 90s with Peyton Manning when he was the offensive team captain. I was a defensive team captain, and drafted, played with the New York Jets. Bill Parcells was my head coach. Bill Belichick was my defensive back coach and my defensive coordinator. So I probably learned in the first 3 years of my career as much football I did my entire life. So shouts out to that. And I just some of the really great memories with some really great players. Ended my career in Chicago, where I, and this is kind of full circle, didn't know what was the next thing I was going to do. And as I was having my journey, as you travelers know, you get kind of stuck. So being that athlete that always had that chip on my shoulder, I always wanted to be, known as more than that. So ended up opening up a fitness club, did that for 5 years and had an amazing club. We trained over 900 athletes in the Chicagoland area. 3 guys went to the NFL, Tommy Zbikowski, Justin Tuck, and I got the chance to train with Justin Tuck and Tommy Zbikowski. So I was really, really happy about that. Did that for 5 years, but man, I've always had a love and passion for the entertainment industry. It was always in me. And signed with a talent agency out in Chicago, Stewart Talent. And man, it was love at first sight, man. It was just like, this is where I belong. And in the last 15 years in the entertainment industry, I've been a Screen Actors Guild SAG actor for 15 years with my second pension. And I say that for a reason. We do these things from football and acting, and we can beat up our bodies or still chasing a dream, but what are you really doing it for? And I was able to accomplish both of those residual income for my journey, so I'm really proud of that. I've done over 70 different modeling campaigns. I'm presently right now one of the black guys for Ariat Boots. I always say the black guys because it's rodeo, it's cowboy. You know what I'm saying? But if you know Ariat Boots, man, they're really amazing. It's an amazing brand. It's an international brand. I've been doing that for 3 years. I'm all over their website and all over their catalogs all over the world. So I'm international. I'm an international player.
There you go.
I just thought about that. I had to throw that in there. I've done print jobs like, Discovery, Bank of America, Experian, done commercials like Netflix, Listerine. I've been on such shows as Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and actually played Cookie's father in Empire. So and I'm going now back to Chicago next week for another stint on Chicago Fire. So really happy about that. And that's always been in me and still in me. And I love that part of my life. That's where my journey has come. Allowed me to be. But now I am currently the commissioner and co-founder and commissioner of the Fan Control Football League. It's a league that three of my guys plus myself, the four of us founders. Sohrab Faroudi is our CEO. Patrick Dees is our chief gaming officer, and Grant Cohen is he just does what the hell he wants to do. And it's the four of us, man. We have been, when you talk about a journey, man, I love when you said that, because this year was our first season. Earlier this February was our first season. You guys know that. That's what you all saw. But this was an idea that we had 7 years ago. So it took us 7 years to get for you being an owner of a football team. And I think sometimes we forget what people have to put in. Everybody's looking for that quick fix or that quick idea for things to happen. But when you think about entrepreneurship and when you think about goals and dreams, you have to have patience. You have to have patience. You gotta be able to, because I tell my friends, they always ask me, what keeps you going? I'm like, man, I just walk. I don't run. I don't jog. I keep the same pace, and I pick up my idea every day. I pick it up every day and push it along. I don't forget about it. I don't let it sit on the shelf and collect dust. I'll open it up, and if it's the same thing every day, it's the same thing every day. But at least pick my dream up every day, and I walk with it. And I think when we were talking about this yesterday, we're like, man, we're so excited, man. Jeremiah Patasi signed with the Oakland Raiders, man. Our first season, first season, and we got our first guy make it to the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
You think about that. If we would have stopped our dream, we might have not have been a part of his. So that's when you start to understand that things are bigger than you. And that's what the Fan Control Football League, it's bigger than us. It's something that we thought about just like everybody else. We just decided to do it together. And, I was in Chicago still acting, having a great time in Chicago. And I had an idea of like having, players run an actual football team. And our fans running an actual football team. So I went to a semi-pro football game. One of my buddies was playing there. He said, man, come talk to the coach, come talk to the team. I was like, all right, I'll say something. I'm sitting up in the stands. I'm watching, and they just calling horrible plays. I'm like, bro, I'm texting him. I tell everybody I'm texting him because it's semi-pro. He's got his phone with him. So I was like, him to stop running run this, And so we go back and forth. I get down on the field and I talk to the coach, and I'm like, hey, coach, you mind staying here and running some football plays for me? And I just went back up into the stands, just like I visualized, and was like, run a sweep, run a play action pass. He ran it, and I just started seeing myself go down the field. And I just looked at him. I said, thank you, coach. Got my car, And that's what it started for me.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
And when you and having that conversation, and just when I keep saying like it's all about the journey, I had worked on it with some buddies of mine, and we had started a beta. I literally taught myself how to beta test, guys, like how to build an app. Just in 4 plays on a phone. I had people all over the country. That's them same 2 teams. I hired them, put them in an indoor football stadium, and had people all over the country trying to call 4 plays. Lovie Smith was on that call, like on this, watching this. I had coaches, I had my old teammates watching this, and they were like, didn't know what they were doing. They were like, whatever you're doing is cool. We couldn't push the play, and somebody's doing it, and ran out of money. I ran out of money, didn't know what I was doing, and ran into my homeboy Tony Paris, played with the Chicago Bears. I played behind him for the years I was in Chicago, man. It was a great player, real analytical, real smart guy. And we just went out just to have some dinner, man. He was just like, man, what you working on? He said, oh, you always working on something. I told him what it was, and he was like, man, that is such a stupid idea. And that's Tony. You know, Tony just gonna tell you how it's not gonna work. And he was my oracle, I would say. He started to tell me the things that I needed to hear. And then one day out of the blue, he calls me back. He's like, man, I got somebody you got to meet. His name is Sohrab Faruti. He owns an indoor football team, and he's thinking something just like you. And I was like, thinking like what? And he was like, fans calling plays, and he's got a football team. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, think about this. What you say his name was? Sohrab, how you spell that? And Sohrab called me, was like, hey man, I got a couple other dudes I done reached out to, and I want you to see if you can come up to LA. I'm in Chicago, see if you can come up to LA. And I'm like, cool, yeah. When you want to do that? August, September? No, he's like, tomorrow. I'm not, I ain't liquid like that, player, but I tell you, man, my wife, I was like, nah, man, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I know I got something I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna do it. That's that pride talking to you that you don't really.
Yeah.
My wife, man, was like, what? So what? It's expensive deal. Go. Why are you gonna always regret if you don't go? Woo! Get on a plane and go. The bromance ensued, man, and said we sitting there talking to each other. And it's like Sohrab was a CEO, Patrick was in gaming, Grant's job was SEO. I'm the football player. It was like, why compete? Why compete with each other? And let's just come together. So if you really think of what the heartbeat of fan control football is, it's people coming together, and it all started with 4 guys deciding to do that.
Wow.
Hey.
Well, travelers, that's a show. Okay.
I know. Hey, I was gonna say, Rick, one thing. I know you said you're gonna go back. Before we forget this, you're gonna go back and you're gonna need a stunt double for that the fire show. Right? I could put on a beard and I got you.
I'll bring that up, big dog. I'll bring that up. Hey, that right meniscus be going out sometimes. I'll let you know.
Hey, Rick, I know you have a question.
Yeah, Ray, man, it is phenomenal, man. I appreciate you just breaking down that story and this your journey in that way, because I know a lot of our travelers, man, they're going through things and they're in that early phase, and they think it's going to happen tomorrow or next month or next week, and you're like, dude, like, it takes time, man. It's not something that just happens overnight. But you said that key thing is keep picking it up every day. Keep picking it up every day, no matter where it is. And you know, the thing is, I mean, you're such a dynamic person because, like you said earlier on, as you were describing, you said, hey, man, I was able to develop to a point where I was able to generate something for myself in different avenues. And these aren't small platforms we're talking about here. You know what I mean? We're talking about the NFL. You know what I'm talking about? You know, that's a certain quality type of person in general. So for us, if you could, like, just break down some of the different character traits that you kind of to identify in yourself, that allow you to obtain even just that success in the beginning to start you on that trajectory that these people out here think they can just do overnight.
Man, was you like at dinner with me and my wife today, man? Like, that's crazy, man. We was just talking about this. I promise you, we was just talking. She was just like, I want to know. She even asks me sometimes, man. She's like, and she's like, how do you go from this to this to this with the same amount of success? And I'm like, man. And then I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, what was it? And then I always remember, I've been going back home or not, I say home, and it feels like home. My wife's been doing some work in Tennessee. So I've been back to Knoxville for the last few weeks and months. And I haven't been back for a long time. And it was just like, man, does anybody remember me? And when I go onto the campus and I see those old coaches and staff and execs that are still there, they all talk about my work ethic. And when I talk to my teammates, my old teammates, when they see all this stuff, they not surprised. And that's what that really hits me home. Like, you don't know what other people are watching, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I was an average dude. I'm just being honest. I wasn't the fastest, strongest, the biggest, the best looking, but I was a hard worker. My work ethic that is what I do. I wake up ready to work, like dream big and go after it. That is just like that's my talk every day. And the work. I think so many people forget about the work ethic, meaning the work ethic as being that discipline. I say player all the time because it is. I take football and everything I do is like, man, I'm going to make a play today. I'm going to practice today. I'm going to watch film today. Watching film ain't doing nothing but research on the internet about what you're trying to get into.
Yes,
no one has any excuses anymore because there's too much Google, YouTube, and stuff out there for you to find the tools and the things that you need to go, to do this journey. So, for me, the work ethic is number one. That is, if you ain't got the work ethic, don't get into entrepreneurship because you're not going to fail and you're going to be sad at what you're doing. Work ethic to me is number one. I would say I'm a big dreamer, man. I dream big. And I was talking to my wife today. She was like, man, how do you say certain things and then you kind of already got it already mapped out? I'm a big visionary. Like if you think about athletes, we watch film. And you're watching that film over and over and over because then when you get on the field, you visualize yourself making those plays. You've already, and I've done that, man. Like when they run that slant, on that third 3-step on the slant on the third down, I already know that situation, so it's gonna happen. And you get that pick, that's because you've been watching film, and then you already put yourself in that position. And so even when it comes to auditioning, when I'm auditioning for a role, and even if it's a commercial. I'll go, okay, this is Target. Okay, it's a Target commercial bet. Let me go to Target's website right now. Let me go to their YouTube right now and look at what campaigns they're running. So I can see where they at. Okay, this campaign was ran 2 months ago, so that means they still in it. If this was 3 years ago, they looking for something different. And so and even when I'm doing something for Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, I go back and look at the last 3 episodes if I haven't seen the show, where they at, okay? Who am I going to be dealing with? Who's going to be on the field when I'm on the field? Because you think about being a player that plays the bench or you play nickel and dime, you don't play every play. Correct. When your ass come in, you better be ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
You got to know the game better than anybody else. And that's what made guys like Ray Mickens, you know what I'm saying? Like made guys like him really good at what they did because they were the man off the bench, but they was always prepared. And they visualize a lot of those things, man. So to me, those are I would say discipline, work ethic is and dreaming big is huge for me. And I would probably say when it comes to the last one that kind of keeps me motivated is finding the right team. You can't do everything on your own. And I have gotten better at learning that I'm a great team player. Sometimes, and once I find out where I fit, then I play that role really, really well. But if you as an entrepreneur got a big idea, it's going to take other people, and you're going to have to understand that. And when I never forget when we were bringing this together, and Sorab stood up and called me, and was like, "Yo, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to be the CEO of this company." Well, we ain't discussed this. But then he was like, well, okay, well, let me show you my master's in business and let me show you
why. Yeah.
And there you go. So I'm not trying to be run the football stuff. That's what you do. And that's when you start to understand, like, you don't have to be the lead to be a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that's how we run this thing, man. It's just like, there's so much teamwork that goes on with everything that we do.
Yeah. Hey, you just hit. So this is our shirt for our show.
Yeah.
And it says dream, drive,
discipline. I didn't even see that. I didn't even look at your shirt. I'm sorry.
I know, it's crazy that when you were saying that, I was like, so once we get up, I'm gonna put this out here so we don't forget, and so we have to be held to it. Once we get off here, we'll get the proper info so we can send you one of these. Because
I love that.
You embody everything that we have right here.
I love that, man.
Everything right here. And what we say that those that we call the quad Ds, and we're saying if you apply that to any facet of any part in your life, you'll be successful. And you just prove what we've been kicking.
I didn't see what's on your shirt because I wear glasses, so I don't see either way.
I can't see anything. Yeah. Hey, now another thing. Somebody that you said this person asked me today, or we were sitting down and eating, and talk about, because you very, very detrimental to you making that flight to LA was the wife. Talk about that support system and how you're having that person in your corner just to say, "Hey, babe." Mm-hmm. Talk about that.
Bruh, that goes, man. That is, I tell when we have, like, you know, anniversaries and all that, when I send the flowers and, you know, post Facebook shit, I say, this is my best teammate that I've ever had. And I think, and I get kind of choked up about it because we're both so coachable. And I say coachable in the sense that she's learned from me and I learned from her. And she has been the best teammate that I've ever had. And I tell her that, like, you make it easy for me to do my job. I don't have a lot of distractions. You keep the distractions away. You keep my mind hitting, my mind light. I mean, it's that to me, I cannot explain, especially in entrepreneurship, especially in startups, how important it is, the support. Because it's going to be years, man. You know, we call it in acting, man. You eat ramen noodles one day and lobster the next. You got to have that type of mentality. If you can't, it's just not going to work. And having somebody that supports you in doing that, man. 7 years with this, man. We started this, and the reason I ran out of money is because we were getting married the same year. And when I went out there, we were getting married in that same year. And she was like, still go. I know we got the wedding and we're doing all this, still go. You've been working on this. And even after we were married, she's watched this thing grow.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're talking about, you know, what the network we're about to be on. You know what I'm saying? She remember when we were, you know, sitting at dinner and I was showing her. I mean, I feel like that scene in NWA when Ice Cube was writing Friday. That's how I'm telling you, man. Where you like almost like we about to be there. It's all about to break, but it breaks because you got that good support system.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And let me tell you something about that fan control football, though. I'm going to tell you. So I remember the first Saturday, I think it was a Saturday, was the first game, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yep. And I was I sat on my step and I had the app and I went in there and I started I'm going to tell you, at the end of the game, I was on my step, same position. I never had a Twitch account. I was doing Twitch account because I didn't have a Twitch account. So I went to jump on Twitch and I was doing everything. And I'm calling my friends like, yo, you better get on this joint, man. This joint right here I called Ricky. I was like, yo, you better get on this joint. Yeah, this joint right here is official. It's like playing Madden in real life.
It's so great. I love, and we all love, like you see this logo. My man did a flow road, and he went to a place and painted that shit. Like, wow. And then somebody stitched us yesterday on this. They threaded us together and made a stitch pack of us. Like, you start seeing, and then you got Joey, Poto doing this, like all these content creators that are like coming out of the league, and it's like, not only the players are coming out of their own, but the fans are coming out of their own. We did this. We're doing this new thing, Monday motivation. I'm a real positive dude. So every week I'm going to put out a Monday motivation of a quote that I live by and just say some good stuff that's going on with the players off the field. So we talked about, talked about Patasi, but we also talked about one of our coaches that's working on his record. And then we showed we had a clip of him rap, man. It's like that's what I want to open up that platform to get all the people that have been looking for that one, man, if I just had
opportunity.
Use our platform to do it, man. You got talent. Use our platform to do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it.
Ownership, man.
Talk about that.
Talk about that.
Talk about ownership, because I think it's so saturated that, you know, and even right now I have 4 kids and I'm trying to still figure it out, because, you know, the high school, college, go get a job, high school, college, and now I'm at the point where ownership, you know, I'm telling my son that's 20 years old and his mom is like, and I'm like, listen, you just finished your AA. Do I really, I'm not saying that the bachelor's is not good, but if that's not where you want to go right now, you know, so talk about the ownership and talk about that entrepreneurial mindset. You talked about that, but talk about that ownership.
Yeah, man. I think that's what's lacking, especially in our community. I mean, the racial wealth gap has been, it is growing, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the only way that you can really create generational wealth is through ownership. And so when we started saying, like, man, we're giving ownership to that, and like you just said, you know, do you go for your bachelor's or do you go for ownership? You know, and I think nowadays, you know, the internet and just this new tech world and this new innovative world, we can now be owners. And I think that's the thing that I think people should start looking at, the type of companies that are trying to give ownership back to the people that you know, back to their fans or their employees or their customers or whatnot. So you can start creating that in that generational wealth. So I'm glad. For you to start off like that was just like, man, that to me is where this all started. Like, man, let everybody have a piece of this. Why can't everybody get into this?
Yeah, dude. Like, talk about how do you celebrate? You know, so now I'm transitioning now to a little bit to some of these entrepreneurs that are out there. We get a lot of entrepreneurs that listen to our show, a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs, and we got some people that are so focused on their goal and don't necessarily know how to celebrate their wins, right? So they're always looking at that next thing, and like, wait a minute.
In your living room again, your conversation.
Listen, man, look. Hey, listen, I don't care if I book a photo shoot or an acting gig, or we get some good news from FCF. We got that meeting with that sponsor that we've been talking about. We've helped somebody. Like, I celebrate the wins, because people got to remember, man, you got to keep those wins kind of like, you know, Rolodex. You know what I mean? I'm saying this not in a bragging way. I've got so many great memories of winning awards, championship medals, state championship, national championship. And I remember how I was and who I was back then. I need to pull from that sometimes. My wife says it all the time. She goes, boy, you are always looking at yourself. I be on my own website. She goes, boy, you are always looking at yourself. And you know what I tell her? I be like, I have to. I say, sometimes I got to remind myself how dope I am. Like, that's okay. There ain't nothing wrong with reminding yourself how dope you are. And so I go to my website and I'll be like, man, I did that. Yeah. All right, now let me go out and bust out this audition and bam, bam, bam. Because you get real nervous. And people forget, you get nervous doing some of these things sometimes. And it's just like sometimes you have these meetings, you're like, man, you know, we have board meetings. It was like, I used to get nervous at first. You know, you talking to people that gave you money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But these are the things that you remember that you thought, wait, you remember, this is what you wanted. You sit in the place where you said you wanted. But man, I always go, go back to even if it's high school, if it's college, go back to the memories that you remember when you were great. And then so you can regain that confidence. You know what I'm saying? You got to pump. You got to pump. You got to work out that confidence muscle. No different than anything else.
Yeah, I love it, man. I hope you travelers are listening to all this stuff, man, because these are just straight gems. And they're not hypothetical things. You know, these are things that have been put into practice, and Ray is seeing results from this right now. And man, it's just I'm just loving this conversation and the way this is going, because when you look at, I've been listening to podcasts and just all the journeys and everything, trying to really get to entrepreneurs like, yo, the thing is, it takes time, right? You got to be committed to the journey. That's it, flat out. Be committed to the journey. Have your dream and be committed to the journey, because it could be 7 years, 15 years, whatever it may be. But like, so when you're looking at, okay, let me start lining up, because a lot of people don't know how to do this. Like, you have your dream. How do you break it down to measurable goals so that people can, that they are attainable, right? So that people could have those points of saying, hey, oh man, I reached that. I'm celebrating here. I reached that. Oh, this is great. So that you're on track. Like, how do you start looking at that?
Yeah, I would kind of use what with the FCF is probably the longest thing that I've, besides football. And the reason I say that is I keep a lot of vision. And I know it sounds corny, vision boards and all that. That's great. For me, I'm just more of a visual person on a daily basis. I meditate on a daily basis. I meditate in the morning, right before I wake up, clear my mind, do my whole workout. But for me, we would kind of, how we did was like, hey, look, we want to be this and we want to raise this amount of money. That was scary for us. For me,
yes.
For the first few million we had to raise for the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, never raised money. No, didn't know what the hell that meant, how to even do it. And so I'm a part of Sorab, and they knew, Sorab and Patrick, they had sold the business before. So and even Grant had actually sold the business before. So they had actually been through those things. So for me, they were all learning curves. And again, it goes to me, before people on your journey, man, just grab somebody's hand, man. You're gonna need help. You're gonna need help. There's no way that idea that I had in Chicago would be what this is today without the help that we've had. So your network is going to get you as far as you know. That's seriously. Get out and start meeting and talking to people, reaching out to LinkedIn. And I'm not deterring this conversation, but
you're good.
Make sure people get out there. If you do not have a LinkedIn has been, I'd be very surprised. LinkedIn for me, and even our counterparts, we talk about it all the time. Like, hey, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Reach out to that guy on LinkedIn. Hey, yeah, you're connected with that guy on LinkedIn. Reach out to him so we can all get connected. Happens all the time. Every time we meet with a sponsor, we link them in, and then we see what they know as well. So it's like, you got to grow your business. You're gonna have to grow your network. So bottom line. But going back to what you're saying, like, which are those goals? I think everybody has different goals. We as a group would set the goal and say, hey, look, we want to have the money raised by this. And that wasn't always the case. We would all didn't know how to pivot. That's what I would like to say. Now I knew what I was getting to. Pivot. You got to be able to pivot 100%. I know your idea or entrepreneurship or whatever business that you got is this is what we're doing. This is how it is. Nah, I know what you're saying. Mama, I said, no, listen, this is the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to pivot and pivot hard. Hard. Because your dream is going to change about 17 times before it is. I'm telling you, man, like something I'm working on right now has transitioned 17 times literally in the last 6 months that we've been trying to get it done. So that happens because once you start understanding what this is the idea, and really the idea is, can the people you're discussing this idea work? Can you guys work together? That's the first thing. Do you guys work together? Okay, boom. Now, is this idea an actual idea? And then once you start knocking on those doors, it's like chiseling ice. You're like chiseling out. Okay, this is what it looks like now. I know I kind of ran all over the place.
No. That was beautiful. Now I'm gonna talk about what's on your shirt.
Man, bruh. Look, there's two things that besides. And let me back up. When it comes to FCF, like what we really, there was the football, there's the gaming. But the heartbeat of what we were trying to create was these personalities, these more than the athlete. You know what I'm saying? That was, we wanted bigger than life players. We did, touchdown dances is one thing, but, look, when I told you going back a little bit, when I was done playing football, it was hard. My transition was hard, right? It was hard going into an Applebee's after church and seeing a game on. You like, I can't watch it. Is that my boys up there playing.
Yeah.
Look at Craig missing tackles. But you had, you know what I'm saying? It was oh gosh, I forgot what I was saying.
No, the personalities that you're trying to get out of football.
We looking for personalities in football, and so like I've gone playing ball after I was done. It was hard to transition, and it was hard to get into the entertainment industry. I didn't realize it. I kind of walked myself in the entertainment industry, but it was a hard transition at first. And I know a lot of athletes, especially NFL guys and basketball guys, once they're done playing, man, it's over. They don't know. It's been a hard transition. And to be honest with you, a lot of us have to go into entrepreneurship because we gave up our 20s and 30s playing ball. So we didn't have a chance to make a resume. So I wanted to look at that different as a commissioner. I'm like, yo, we got these young guys coming into our league 2-3 years and then they're out, but then they're giving up some really quality time where they can be making out a resume out there, working resume. So how can we open up our platform for these guys to do other things and create their own brands and use our platform to do other things? And so that's how we look for. We look for guys that, you know, we did every combine we did, the 40, the 20, the pro agility, all that, they also had to sit down with me for an audition. So I would sit down and I'd talk you through. I'd be like, Marlon, what up? How you doing? Tell me about yourself. Tell me where you from. Cool. Okay, you from the hood. Okay, where in the hood? So I done lived. My dad was military, so I grew up in the projects. I was military brat and stayed in a trailer home. I done been to Hawaii. I done been to Australia. You know what I'm saying? So I've been very diverse in my life. So when guys are talking to me, I can understand what we're going to get.
Coming from. Yeah.
And so you can start pulling from that. And we started to see what we were getting. So it was like, man, football first, but we're going to my job is to find those guys that are like me, the more than the athlete, the entrepreneurs, the actors. So a lot of you guys don't even know. We have players that got hurt that we ended up making them host on shows that we had in the bubble on Twitch.
Yes.
We had, on every football team, there's always a barber. We had a barber on the football team. We had one of my linebackers, Jeremiah Dadabo. He makes gloves for the urban community for young kids that can't afford the football equipment. I told all my players every day I'd have meetings with the players over Zoom, and I'd say, hey, if you got a business, I need to know about it because I want to help you get your business on, or I want to promote it. Jeremiah was the first one to come with me and said, man, Commish, I got a glove company and I just wanted to make the gloves for all the league. Really? Let's do it. So while he was playing and making tackles, all the players had his gloves on. And so when he was out there making them tackles, I was able to talk about those gloves because I had them, because I was the commentator. Yeah. And it's just like, when you have those things in you, let me know so we can let the world know about you, so you can start creating your brand after this. And so thinking of that, I had a great friend of mine that actually booked me in a commercial. There's a commercial that's playing right now, Grand Canyon University commercial. He booked me for it as a professor. I'm a professor. That's all I had to do. We had dinner. He was like, man, I would love, if I had a dime for every time you say more than an athlete, I'd be a millionaire. He goes, I want to make a platform for you. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Casting director, that's okay. What you got? And we had been, like I said, this was the idea we had at first. And I was just like, I don't know if that fits what I really want to do. Then we had it and it got tweaked again. I don't know. And then the NCAA passed the NIL policy.
Yeah.
And then I knew from right then. So something I didn't tell you guys when I was with my acting, I'm still with my same agency in Chicago, I partnered up with them, Elite Model Management, Stewart Talent. I partnered up with them and opened up a sports division. And I said, hey, I got friends and people just like me that we can get in the sports commercials. You guys get me in the sports, but we can do it for them.
Yeah.
So we booked all the Under Armour commercials with Devin Hester. I'm putting guys in football commercials for Sony, Peyton Manning, Gatorade, photo shoots for volleyball players. This was back in 10 years ago. But I had a problem because I couldn't find real good athletes that could do the commercials because they were all on scholarship.
Yeah.
So when the NIL policy went through, I look at my brand, I look at what I've done. I've transitioned from sports to entertainment to entrepreneurship. I'm like, man, we need to open up a platform for allowing athletes to be able to make and benefit from their name, image, and likeness. Now, when you think about that and you go, oh man, that's great. Everybody, there's a couple other companies that are out there doing it. But if you think about the whole NIL policy at first, it's only really going to affect about 10%, 5% of people, the quarterback, the top running back in the country, the starting guard that they know is going to go first round. Yep. So it's going to be very minimal people that are going to really benefit from it. And when I heard that, man, I was just like, nah, that's not cool. It doesn't really benefit anybody. So me and my boys looked at it the other way around. Let's flip the bottle. Let's start from the bottom up. Let's get all NIL. Let's make this a NIL for all. Let's make, when we have one deal that comes in from Gatorade, we use all the athletes. Soccer, baseball, basketball. If you're on our platform, you will get a residual income from those sponsors. So instead of one person getting $1 million, 1,000 people are getting $100. And that's the way it should be working. And that's what I stand for, is giving and creating opportunities for athletes. That's always been my thing. I've always loved that. And man, I'm going to use the platform of FCF to start doing that, because that's what we're already doing right now anyway.
Yeah. Oh man. It's beautiful, because some people like to take things for themselves and they're always looking, hands always out.
Yeah.
But it's great when you have, and I'm more inclined to say, you know what happened? I'm going to support Ray because I know Ray's going to do the right thing, whatever he has, because he's going to pass it forward. And a lot of athletes, if I'm not saying that they don't all do, but the ones that do it and they're genuine, I love it, because it just lets people know that there's still good people out here that's looking out for somebody else, and these athletes, they need some guidance from guys like you.
Bro, I'm going to put this out here in the universe to the travelers, so y'all can take this with me. Y'all walk this with me, because this is something that there's a certain network, I'll say that I have pitched an idea to, and it's going well. And the reason I'm bringing that up is that it's not done yet, and the journey's not there yet, but the idea is out there. And if you think about Division I schools, the Tennessees, the Florida States, the Michigans, and these huge schools, you see their athletic departments. They look like the NFL places, all of them. You know what I'm saying? They are these are multi-million-dollar athletic departments. And for me, we were doing this the promo, Marlon, for Quavo. Quavo was doing our promo for one of the videos, and we shot that in Clark Atlanta University. So we're setting it all up and whatever not. And I'm in Clark's weight room, like, this looks like a high school weight room. This is crazy. Like, I didn't get it. Man. It was just like, wow. Like, the track was the one of the track coaches was literally putting the lines on the track as we were out there. And like, wow. I go up to University of Tennessee, and they got, iPads in their lockers. You know what I'm saying? So I said to myself, like, how we got to start creating a even playing field. So I pitched a show called Renovation U, where we're going to go into HBCU schools and rebuild their athletic departments.
Love it.
So if you think about it, like, if I come where I play, if how athletes are, if I look good, I play good. They should have them same opportunities than the University of Georgia and Georgia Tech that's 13 miles down the street. And we want to get African-American businesses helping with some of the renovations. Like, that's how we're gonna do this from the bottom up. That's how I'm looking at it, man. So,
man, I knew this was going to be good, but you've far exceeded, man, my expectations, man, and just hearing the things that you're doing, what you've done, and just the impact that you're putting out into the world, because that's what this is all about. Like, and I hope our travelers take the moment to talk to the travelers and say, listen, is not just about reaching your goal and reaching your level of success, but how can your success transform your people that are around you, your community? How is your success going to pull other people up the same way that you're pulling up? Because that's the true measure of success, really. And that's how Marlon and I, we live. Ray, that's how you live, and that's, man, if we get more and more people to multiply that type of living, 1,000 people making 100 versus one making 1 million, man, that right there changes the dynamics of families and trajectories,
Man, all day long. And you saying it, man, creating generational wealth. And I said this, like, man, like, I've been blessed to be at the opportunity to be at that, at the top of this. And so in that, my job is to make room for someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so even for me, man, when we started this in Sora was like, I didn't really know what what was going to be my title or what I was going to do, what was my responsibility. It was like, man, I want you to be the commissioner, man. You got to be the face of this thing and where this thing is headed and what we want our athletes to be and the voice of this. And I'm like, man, okay. I understood the responsibility to that. And then, so for me, I was just like, I need to find mentorship. I'm 46 years old, but I'm still going to find some mentorship. So I reached out to somebody that was an actual commissioner. And he's now a part of our company. And it's like, I had to, of an HBCUs, I had to get him a part because I was just like, I need to know what I don't know. And he was amazing, man, to have that type of energy around me. I knew that I was good. But it's all about creating opportunities for other people. Because if you always sow and seed, you're always gonna eat.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it. Marlon, you got any last questions for Ray, man?
Hey, I just want to thank you for the reach out, man. Because this is what it is too. A lot of times you see somebody, I see you on TV, I have you on my IG and everything like that. And I'm like, sometimes you try to reach out to some people and what they profess to be is not what they are. Right?
Yeah. We all know that.
We got the reach back that, hey, I'm gonna come on your show. But then just like Ricky said, just talking to you is far exceed our expectation because of the things that you have been saying. So I just want to tell you, man, keep on doing what you're doing. Not like I gotta tell you, but keep on doing what you do. Look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You look at your website and say, "Hey, boy."
Hey, dog. Hey. It's iron sharpens iron, bro. I say it all the time, man. Like this interview ain't no different when the NBC calls. So like, look. I done did photo shoots for $150, and I done did photo shoots for $1,500. Don't nobody know. They don't know the difference.
Yeah. They see the picture.
They don't know the difference.
Yo, what they do, I want to make sure that you share with all of our guests out here and listeners is just your platforms. Where can they find you? Talk about the football. Talk about your company with athletes. Like share all that stuff so that we can blast that out to all of our travelers and spread the word.
For all you travelers that are on your journey, man. I'm pretty open on all the Instagram, Facebook, Ray Austin 36. My website, rayaustin36.com. You'll see my journey, and I'm only getting started in real talk, but. If you go to fcf.io, you'll see our company and what we have built. And seriously, go to Our Story and the team, and you see all the amazing people that we have behind us. I think I just want to give you guys concrete receipts. Like, yeah, he was right, man. You got to build a hell of a team. And I think that's the one thing Saurabh, our CEO, has done. He's put an amazing group of people together to make this thing work. So check that out. And Athlyt.co, go there. Just check it out. We're getting it started. We've got some sponsors already signed up. We're getting a ton of athletes already getting going. And so we're just getting started. But man, that is probably something I'm super excited about because I know that's going to be great for the college athletes out here and giving everybody some type of opportunity and benefit from all their hard work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, love it. Well, listen, travelers, man, this has been an amazing time, amazing interview. You got to get a sneak peek behind the curtains of Ray Austin, man. the man, the legend himself, and just building up a legacy for people in the sports world, sharing, building, helping them build platforms. I love what he said, man. Like, for so many years, through the 20s and 30s, they don't have an opportunity to really develop their resume. So how can he create a platform so they can build that resume and have something to lean on when they transition from one thing to the next, man? So really love the content. Go back and rewind, take notes of everything that you heard from this and share it to those that are out there. Listen, man, we are excited to be bringing these episodes to you. But we would not go without saying, listen, there are so many more that we have done. Go to our website, thesuccessjourneyshow.com, to catch up on all the other previous episodes that we've done. Check out some of our shirts and books and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff goes to help build this platform, and we get more guests like Ray out here to share their stories with the world. So listen, travelers, like we say as always, we'll see you again next week at the same time, the same place on the Success Journey Show. Everyone have a good one. Peace.
One love.
You've been listening to The Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.